Okay, these next two examples talk about how to use function notation in more of an application problem and making sure we know how to explain it with a real life context. So if we take a look at example 13 and 14, it says that a gym charges $30 a month. In addition, so it's $30 a month plus, it says a one-time fee, so $30 a month. So let's say X is month, so every month it's $30, and a fee of $50. Oh, so they gave us the function f of x equals, so 30x plus 50. It models the amount spent on gym charges for X months. So it tells us here that X represents the month. So it says find f of 6. So instead of X, it wants us to use 6. So we're going to plug in 6 for X, and then we're going to use order of operations. So we're going to multiply first, and then add the 50. So we get f of 6 equals 230. Then it asks us to interpret, well, what does this mean in the context of the problem? So if we look here, it says that X is the months. So the number that we put in for X is 6. So 6 represents the months. So it says that this function models the amount spent. So if it models the amount spent, that's going to represent the 230. So I'm going to put the amount spent on gym charges for 6 months is $230. So you want to make sure to label it, and it has the dollar sign there so you know it's not like pesos or something like that. So make sure you label. So again, when you're explaining it, you're just using the verbiage from the explanation up here and then just using the numbers you got. Okay, so then we have find X. So this time we're finding X. So we're finding the months. So if we're finding the months, then this happens to be the amount spent. Okay, so f of X equals 350 is what they gave us. And f of X is 30x plus 50. So it says to find X, so we're going to go ahead and solve this equation. So subtract 50 from both sides. And then we're going to divide both sides by 30. And we get X equals 10. So you don't have to explain it exactly like this, but you have to pretty much say that 10 is the months and 350 is how much. So instead of saying the amount spent on gym charges for 6 months is 230, you could say in 10 months, so I'll word it differently in this one just to be different. So in 10 months, the total amount spent on gym charges is $350. So again, no matter how you word it, 10 is the months and 350 is how much they've spent up to 10 months. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at another application problem. So it says, suppose a function v of t represents the value of an investment in thousands of dollars in t years after 2005. So t represent the years after 2005. So just to make sure it's clear, if t is 3, that represents 3 years after 2005. So that would mean 2008. So that's what t means, is how many years after 2005. Okay, so it asks us to find v of 12. So we're going to take the t out, and it's telling us what to put in for t here. So we're going to put 12. And so we're going to do 25 times 12. is 300. And then plus 500 is 800. Okay, so that's my answer there. And now it wants us to explain what we just found. So 12 is t. So if t is 12 and it represents how many years after 2005, 2005 plus 12 years later, that makes it 2017. So we would say the value, so again, I'm just writing what it says here. The value of the investment in 2017 is valued at 800, and it says 1,000. So you could either write 800 and then put 1,000 in words, or write it as a number like that. Okay. I could have also said the investment. Okay, so in this next one here, it says find t. So if I'm finding t, I'm not plugging in this for t. This doesn't represent the years after 2005. So instead, I'm going to solve for t by replacing v of t with what v of t equals. 25t plus 500. Okay, then we're going to subtract 500 on both sides. So then we get 25t equals, so we have 775 minus 500. And then divide both sides by 25. And we get t equals 11. Okay, so now we need to interpret our answer. So if t is 11, it means 11 years after 2005. So 2005 plus 11, would make it the year 2016. So we would say in the year 2016, so that's what the 11 represents, the investment is worth $775,000. So don't forget, you need the dollar sign. If you don't want to put these zeros there, then you have to write 1,000. Investment is worth $800,000 in the year 2017. All right, next one says to find t. So it says v of t, so I'm taking the whole entire function and plugging it in, so now we can solve for t. So we're going to subtract 50 from both sides. So we have 775 minus 50. And then divide both sides by 25. And we get t equals 29. So again, remember t is how many years after 2005? So we're going to have 2005 and then 29 years after. So 2005 plus 29. So 2034. Okay, so I just realized I copied the problem down wrong. This should be 500, so we should be subtracting 500 from both sides, which would then make this 25t equals 275. And then when you divide by 25, we would get 11. Okay, so it's 2005 and then 11 years later. So 2005 plus 11 would make it 2016. So I'm going to say in the year 2016, the investment is worth 775, and I could put it in words or put 1,000.